Sexual temptation. Wow, what a strong temptation. And you might be wondering, Bishop Brown, how do I overcome this such strong, powerful temptation that I have? Well, there is a way for you to overcome it, no matter how powerful that temptation can be in your life. Now, everyone has faced it. Mostly men face it in a stronger way because of biologically how we are. But the answer to overcoming temptation doesn't have anything to do with the body. It has to do with our mind. Listen to how the Bible tells us to overcome sexual temptation. 1 Corinthians 6:8. It's 18. Flee from sexual immorality. He doesn't say flirt with it, look at a bunch of porn, but tell yourself you're not going to do it. No. He's saying you got to flee from it. In other words, don't let your eyes even think about it. Don't even view it, because what happens when you view porn and when you're letting your mind get control of your life, you're feeding the lust. And the more you feed it, the more the lust grows until it consumes you. Listen to this other passage, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 3. It says, this is God's will, that you abstain from sexual fornication. Again, abstain. In other words, just don't do it. Now, the world will tell you, oh, you can't do that. You can't just do it. What you got to do is get it out of your system. Start fornicating, and then you'll get it out of your system. What a lie. Because what you're doing by feeding the lust, you're making the lust grow. So God's way to help us overcome sexual temptation is we have to starve the temptation. When you starve it, then like any creature that starves, it dies. So what you have to do is starve your temptation. And when you starve it, then what happens? It doesn't have that control. So the good news is, if you can starve your sexual temptation, it will not be as strong anymore. Paul says in Ephesians 4:19, we are not to be like the lustful pagans who are feeding in their lust, and and here's what he says, they have a continual lust for more. And here's the thing about sexual temptation. When you engage in it, guess what happens? It's not out of your system. It gets stronger. In other words, there'll be a continual lust for more. You're going to want to do more sexual acts that are against God's word, not less. So the only way to overcome is through the help of the Spirit. When we decide we're going to avoid it, we're going to overcome it, we're going to flee from it. And when we do that, we are starving our sexual urges. And eventually, brother, those sexual urges will not be as strong as they used to be.